Let's see here. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're signing in from. Uh, I'm on live on Facebook. There it is, live on LinkedIn and live on YouTube. Let me know where you're watching me from. Just leave me a hello in the comments. Say hello, say hi. Tell me about something you're working on. Maybe you've got a question you'd like to ask me. Whatever it is, throw it in the chat. Let me know you're here. And I will scroll over here to the chat. Let's see. Let me start with, first of all, my friend. Hey, Will, good to see you. I think that's today, not left over from previous comments. I just opened the comments, so hopefully that's a true statement. Coming in from Facebook. Good to see you, my friend. Um, San Angelo, Texas. Awesome. So it is still morning in San Angelo, not for much longer. What a great place. I used to really enjoy. Here's some interesting fact about San Angelo, Texas that most people don't know. Speaking of Texas, I'm going to get to this hat in a second, but there's a relevance there. San Angelo, Texas is home to the largest cash prize purse for rodeo. Doesn't have a very large rodeo presence necessarily, but the largest rodeo prizes are awarded in San Angelo, Texas. And if you ever want to get out to, West Texas without the drama, San Angelo is a good place to be. There's a university there, but there's not much else. There's some rodeo, and then of course a small training facility, a Goodfellow Air Force Base. So is that rolling your eyes, Will, or is let me see if that shows up for everybody, or is that a eye-opening piece of information? It was eye-opening for me when I lived there as well, having lived there a couple times, as you know, once as an instructor and once as a trainee, but great experiences. So, what the hat? Let me start with the hat. So, my friend Ryan, not long ago, suggested that I wear a different hat for each of these live streams, which seemingly was a silly suggestion, but has a lot more meaning behind it because I used to actually collect these hats from different places and different things I've come across throughout my life, and so I'm just sharing some of those experiences with you, something else that people may or may not have known about me. And this particular hat represents 15th MI Battalion. When I was stationed in Fort Meade, Maryland, I was tasked with being a trainer for a group of folks coming out of 15th MI Battalion in Fort Hood, Texas. If you're not familiar, they fly the fixed-wing aircraft called the Guardrail, which is one of our mission aircraft in the Army intelligence community. And they do really great work. At the time, they were ramping up to deploy. It was their first real deployment into Iraq, and to support those missions, we brought them up to Fort Meade to train on some databases and some other skills that would be needed as part of their mission out there. And this, among other things, was one of the ways that they were great, showing their gratitude and the recognition for the training that we provided them. What a good experience that was. Made some great friends through that. Still maintain contact with some of those people today. But yeah, just a great experience and a great introduction to the aircraft fixed-wing community and their role from another perspective that I didn't have at the time. So I had previously been on a fixed-wing aircraft as a mission supervisor from a different intelligence perspective, and our sister battalion was the Guardrail battalion, but I knew very little about what their operations consisted of. So this was a great insight to what their operations actually consisted of and how they conducted business. It was a really good time. Man, I apologize in advance, and I commit to showing up here with intentional messages. Today, I did show up without much of an intention on what it was I was going to share. So I did give, of course, some thought to it, and the thought process I was having was, or the thought process that I went through was really about, what it is that people need. So my friend Wayne said something to me the other day that he finally understood why it is that I offer to help so many people with the things that they're working on. And it's because I truly enjoy serving others. If there's an opportunity for me to help them achieve something more, something different, without the sacrifice that so many of us as veterans who've transitioned into business or, in other leadership roles and other top performers out there, we tend to sacrifice in other areas of our life. And for too many of us, it ends up looking like burying ourselves in our work to tune out the way we feel about the sacrifices that we've made in those other areas of our lives. And ultimately, my goal is to help people achieve more without sacrifice. So when I come here or when I show up in your world and I ask you, what it is you're working on, or, what are the dreams that you have put to the side that you'd really like to pursue, my goal is to help you figure out how best to achieve those things. And yes, I do that and get paid to do it, which is a great experience. And here's the thing about that. If you want to question my values and my integrity to serving other veterans in particular, I would tell you that it's one of the best things I can do to make more money so that I can continue to contribute to others in different ways. And I'm finding more and more. David, good to see you, my friend. David Lee Martin, Christian Creative Academy, coming straight to us out of the UK. Good evening, my friend. Great to see you here. But I digress. I've been learning more and more how many principles we see taught in business that most people don't recognize have foundations rooted in a simple book, a book that too many people haven't taken time to pick up. Too many people probably don't understand. And I claim to be one of the people that doesn't fully understand this book. And I'm working on it. But I'm seeing more and more the principles that I talk about, the principles that I see people talking about and creating successful businesses, successful journeys in their life, being able to experience true fulfillment, are all rooted in systems and processes that I see described through Scripture in the Bible. And I find that that's an amazing revelation to me. In particular. So maybe you knew that, maybe you didn't, but I do find it to be quite interesting. And money is one of those topics that's often brought up. And I used to be a part of a Christian community for financial coaches. And one of the questions that often came up is, how can you charge broke people to figure out how to save more, spend less, and ultimately be able to create wealth? And the simple answer is, by doing that, one, it respects that the value that you believe I have to bring to your life. I'm in business not to be greedy, not to be taking advantage of other people, but I'm in business to create for myself the things that I need. But beyond that, again, going back to my ability to produce an income, enables me to help other people in different ways. And my goal in life is to help more people and to help them better, to better themselves, to better their businesses, to better live in the ways that they would most like to. Some of that, for me, for instance, is autonomy. I created a business so that I could be more autonomous and pull away from the corporate structured environment where I was a number. So those are some things that I thought about sharing today that I didn't really have a point necessarily, but I hope that you were able to take something from that. And Will says, eternal principles are eternal. Reference using the Bible for guides in human endeavors. Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm seeing more and more of as I spend more time in my daily devotions. And I use the Bible app, by the way. If anybody's looking for a great resource, the Bible app is free. Uverse provides that app, and it has lots of daily devotional plans that you can pick up and follow. If you're struggling in an area of your life, in business or prosperity or You want to follow an Advent plan. There's lots of different plans there to help with contributing to growth in different areas of your lives. And I find it super simple to use, engage with, and spend a few minutes a day learning something and making those connections that make Bible study for me easy, because I've never been one to be able to pick up the Bible and actually follow any kind of study guidance, so to speak, without some sort of assistance. And so for me, reading those devotionals that take just a few minutes, literally 3 to 5 minutes each day, and connecting those to Scripture, where I have found myself picking up from where it's taught us in Scripture and going and investigating a little bit further to more fully understand what those stories are sharing. So it's been a great experience. Let's see. I talked about the hat. I talked about business and the relationship I'm seeing to my pursuit and faith. There was something else I wanted to share. Goal setting, right? If you're looking at creating a new plan or a bigger plan for 2022, and you want to talk with a group of people and work through setting goals together, following more than just, here's my thoughts really quickly. If you go back to last week, I created a video on that, but created a live about it. But I believe that there's an effective 7-step goal setting process that I've taught, I was taught, and I found to be extremely useful when teaching other people how to walk through these 7 steps. And if smart or smarter goals work for you, that's great. I think for a lot of people, that is a great starting point, but it's not the end all be all. Of course, there's lots of goal setting options out there, but I am putting together a quick, it depends on you how long, but a Zoom call where we can work together in a small group to flesh out what those goals look like for you, for all of us. And that's going to happen one evening, I hope, this week. Still don't have the time. There she is, Megan. I was just thinking about you, obviously. So I have yet to reach out to Megan to double check times with her for this week. But you'll be hearing from me hopefully later today, Meg. And thanks so much for being here. Glad to see you. So, hey, I'd love to hear what you're working on. What's something that you're challenged with, or, if there's an opportunity for me to help you, whether it's to talk through strategy, goal setting, if there's something in your life or your business that you're struggling with and you just need someone to chat with, I'm happy to have a conversation. And if there's an opportunity to help you beyond that, of course, there's no obligation to get on the phone with me. But if there's an opportunity to continue to serve you beyond that, we could certainly talk about what those next steps would look like. But again, just having a conversation, doing some brainstorming, maybe problem solving with you, I'm just inviting you to connect with me. There's no sales pitch involved. If it's good for you and you get the results you're looking for from that one conversation, that's perfectly fine with me. So I think that's all I came to share today. Again, I didn't have a real clear plan of where that was going to go, but hopefully that information is impactful as you think about the different areas in your life and your business that you're working on. So until tomorrow, I hope that you have a wonderful day wherever you're coming in from. Could be morning, evening. Either way, have a wonderful time, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.